Okay, so on to science. Let's having some tea. Right, so for science, we are continuing on with what we were doing last year. We didn't get that far through the program that we'd chosen, and it was this one, the Sassafras Science Adventures. And not because we didn't like it, it's just one of those subjects, it's not my favourite subject. And my daughter loves science, but it's not my subject. And it's just one of those ones that falls through the cracks. But when we do it, we both enjoy it. It's, so science I'm going to be a bit more committed to. It's a weekly subject, and it's just one of those ones where you gloss over it once in a while. And more often it's because I didn't get the science supplies or whatever ready for the experiment. And because I have a toddler as well, and sometimes things just don't go according to plan and get disrupted. So we enjoyed it when we did it. We just didn't do it with that much commitment. So the Sassafras Science series we did, it's basically comes like this. So you get a read aloud, and you get this parent's guide, and essentially this contains all the science experiments. So depending on what week you're on, it will take you through other books, other chapter living books, that you can buy, or encyclopedias or whatever you can get out from the library. It will go through the information that's required for the notebook, and what else does it go through? Vocabulary. It will take you through, what's this? The procedure for the experiment, and multi-week projects. So food charts, habitat projects, any additional activities like you might want to make an animal mask or whatever, and copy work if you choose to do that. We don't do the copy work. We do some of the activities. We definitely do the multi-week projects. Yeah. So that's what that book is. It's essentially a parent guide, but mainly this is where the science projects are. So if you get this is the story, if you want to do the science projects, they're in this book. And then finally, the other book that you can get to go with this is a logbook. Do you need it? Maybe not, but it works with the program. So this is what we've been using. I'll give you a little glimpse inside. So this is how it looks. This is how it looks. So this is inside. So what I haven't said is this is also our geography program as well, or our world geography program, because you go to all of the continents of the world and different locations within those continents. So in all, the Sassafras twins in the storybook land on all of the continents. They go to 8 different countries within the continents that they land on. So they go to 8 countries in total, and they encounter 4 animals at each location that they go to. So this, I'll give you an example of one of the locations. So this is one of the multi-week projects, which is a food chart. So you label whether the animals are herbivores, omnivores, or carnivores. And as you can see, these are all of the animals that we've encountered so far. So we're only on our second habitation, and there's 8. So that's how far we got through the book. This is how we did the logbook. So how it's laid out is you'll get the habitat, and when you're reading the story, you're going to gather some information about the different animals there. You also then need to draw where all the different grasslands that are. We used a encyclopedia we have to identify them. And then here you've got my daughter. This was my daughter just kind of personalised it. She likes to draw. So we'd read the story, and she would call out what she remembered from reading the story, and I'd write that down for her. she'd fill up, on this one she didn't fill up out there, but generally going forward she filled out up here. She stuck in whether they're a carnivore or a herbivore or an omnivore. Then some other things that we downloaded from the internet, like the lion's paw print, life cycle of a lion, and then I just found these expert badges as a free download online. So we decorated it with different things. She would draw her picture and label the parts of the lion, and I'll link down below the site we used for these, for how she produced her artwork. The same for cheetah, elephant, and so on and so forth. When we got to the habitat part, we used a pop-up. We did these habitat pop-ups. And I got this online somewhere, I can't remember. I think it was in Teachers Pay Teachers. I got that. Maybe like was a couple of dollars. I'll link it below. And then for geography, we did a geography project of that destination that we landed in. So this was for Kenya. What she loved about this was when she realised that the Swahili language, Kenya speaks English and Swahili, and that the Swahili language was what what's the film? The Lion King. The Lion King, the names Simba and Kuna Matata and all of that were all Swahili words. She was fascinated by that. We watched The Lion King as well as a result of doing this. And then she did experiments. One was on cat's eyes. And the other one was, and that was like using foil and toilet rolls and flashlights. And the other one was giraffe saliva. She loved this. She did both experiments with her friend, and they loved this. They absolutely loved this. This was such a big win, and all this was cornstarch and water, and the water represented human saliva, and the cornstarch mix was giraffe saliva, and it was nice and messy, and they absolutely loved it. Yeah, and that was it. And then we moved on to the next habitation, which is in Egypt. So that's where we're up to now. Something I did buy, because my plan for this was to make it experiential, and I was going to buy, as soon as the spring came round, was buy an annual pass to the zoo, which is the main thing to do, which obviously makes sense. And then we were just going to visit the zoo with another homeschool family, but then lockdown came about. So that kind of went by the wayside, that idea. But I did get this. And we pull this out when we do this. And this was a good alternative. It's not a great, it's not the best in the world, but we really enjoyed this. This is something, so let me show you what it is. So they're these cards. They're all alphabetically listed. I'm not presenting this very well. Let me start again. So it's a pack of these cards. I don't know if you can see these cards, 4D zoo cards, and they literally do this. So you download an app on your tablet or on your mobile phone, and when they hover over the card pops up like this and comes to life. It also includes some food cards as well, which allows, it doesn't feed every single animal, which would have been so cool if it did, but some food cards that, like for the monkey, you put a banana card next to it and it will walk from its card over to the banana card and eat it. It's so cool. I really like that. So or the elephant will eat the grass. I think you can see here on the box. There's the elephant. You put your tablet over it, and then it will come to life in 4D and eat the grass. Also has some a quiz and some other interactive features, and you hear the animal sounds and all of that. It also has this virtual reality headpiece you put on, and you put your mobile phone here in the front of it, and then you can also use it, but we don't really use this, and I just don't like the idea of my phone being there and it being so close to the children's face. I'm just not down with it. But it didn't it costs the cost of purchasing it. I think this whole set was like £15. And if you get the cards on their own, I think it wasn't even £15, it might have been less than that. Like, it was like £12 to £15. And if you get the cards on their own, they're like £10. So it was minimal extra to get the headset. And plus the food cards came with this kit. So we use that. And every time we do this series, we tend to pull this out as well, and it's another way of engaging with it. When we finish this series, we are going to go on and do the next installment. We have this because I've got this lovely friend, this a sister friend, and she is for Purim, she wanted to get my daughter a gift, and this is what, so she offered to contribute to our homeschool, and so she bought the next installment in our science series, which is on anatomy, all about the human body. So this will be a fun one to do. So when we finish this, when we eventually get through this, we will stick with this series and go on to this next, and I will purchase the logbook and the parents guide for this series when we get there. But that's next on the list, and that is what we're doing for science.